This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Good afternoon and welcome to the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Natalie Morales.
And I'm Amber Chalker. Yesterday's primary elections in Texas made national news. Texas had the first primary in the country in what's expected to be a big midterm election year. There were a lot of challengers to Republican incumbents around the state, but for the most part, the incumbents held on their seats. Republican incumbent John Cornyn easily beat his three challengers. There will be runoff among the Democrats for Senate between dentist David Alamiel and activist Keisha Rogers. Greg Abbott and Wendy Davis each ran away with their party's nomination for governor. Congressman Randy Nagenbauer won the GOP nomination. He'll run against Democrat Neil Marchbanks, who is retired from the Weather Service. The big surprise of the night is the lieutenant governor race. Incumbent David Dewhurst, who has the job for 12 years, will be in a runoff, but he finished a distant second to Houston State Senator Dan Patrick. Democrat Letitia Van Depute ran unopposed. There will also be a Republican runoff for Attorney General with State Senator Ken Paxton facing State Representative Dan Branch. The winner will face Attorney Sam Houston. The runoff election will be May 27th, and the general election will be November 4th. The other important runoff is right here on campus. Remember to vote in the SGA runoff election Thursday and Friday. Two campaign teams will be running head-to-head for the 3 seats. One Tech and Experience Where It Counts are the executive blocks on the ballot. They're running for president, internal and external vice president. Visit ttuhub.net for more information on all the candidates.
If you're graduating this May or if you've completed the required hours to get a class ring, listen up. The Tech Alumni Association is holding a graduation fair that might just be what you need. The fair is a one-stop shop to check out and order class rings, caps and gowns, announcements and invitations, take portraits, and more, all while grabbing snacks and drinks. Mandy Wiley is the Director of Affinity Merchandise for the Alumni Association and tells us why the fair is so valuable.
The most beneficial part is that they can get everything done in one stop without running all over campus. They can order their ring, they order their graduation announcements, they can purchase their cap and gown. If they'd like to talk to the Career Center, they can do that, or the graduate school. So it's handy for them because students are so busy. It's nice they can get everything done in one location.
The fair is at the Fraser Alumni Pavilion and continues tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Department of Theater and Dance is offering a classic play with a powerful message. Women of Troy is a critical look at the subjugation of women. Reporter Jasmine Bradford talked with some of the crew staging the play this week.
The Department of Theater and Dance is showcasing Euripides, The Women of Troy, directed by Ben Slade. It will be located at the Charles Majan Theater from March 6th to the 9th.
This is The Women of Troy, and it's part of my dissertation research. It's my dissertation project, actually. And what I'm examining is feminist rape theory, and I'm doing that through the lens of a 2,500-year-old play written by Euripides. Part of this has to do with research, but also it has to do with raising awareness of sexual assault both in the smaller community, being Texas Tech, and then the larger community, being Lubbock.
Hi, my name is Madison Weinhofer, and I am playing Cassandra. She spent her life telling people exactly what's going to happen, and nobody ever believes her. So that would make, I think, anybody a little crazy. So as a result, she's a little cuckoo. I love playing crazy. And it's not just crazy. There's so many different levels to it, I think. And so it was a really neat acting challenge to be able to play somebody that's not quite all together. And she's a big contrast to everybody else in the play, I think.
We're also going to have a talk back on Friday night. So if you come to Friday night's performance, we're having a talk back after with myself, the actors, and several panelists from community organizations who deal in sexual assault. And so you can talk to us or ask us questions about the performance or anything you have on your mind that concerns those topics.
That does sound like an intriguing play. Lately, the weather has been so cold it seemed like a good idea to go inside for a show.
I know, right? I think we're in for a better stretch this week. But you never know in Lubbock, especially in the spring. MCTV weather specialist Carly Smith shows us how Texas Tech students play a big role in Texas Severe Weather Awareness Day, which is this Saturday.
The last time a devastating tornado hit Lubbock was back in 1970, but that does not mean things cannot get crazy out here on the South Plains as far as severe weather is concerned. As just last June, 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts blew through the town of Lubbock, and one storm and a different storm produced softball-sized hail at the airport. And just about 40 miles west of Lubbock, there was an EF2 tornado that struck down near the town of Sundown. And so it's no surprise that people here in Lubbock have started a Severe Weather Awareness Day.
The student chapter of the American Meteorological Society at Texas Tech University hosts Severe Weather Awareness Day March 8th at the Science Spectrum. But beginning on March 2nd was the start of a National Severe Preparedness Week, and Rick Perry also proclaimed March 2nd through 8th to be Severe Weather Awareness Week in Texas. Co-presidents Timothy Cermak and Matt Mahalik describe why Severe Weather Awareness Day is important.
Well, Texas Tech students are some of the more vulnerable people in Lubbock when it comes to severe weather. If you imagine, you have these dormitories, and these dormitories have multiple levels, and there's students all throughout them, and they may not all have the tools necessary to be alerted of severe weather coming onto campus.
Sure, it fits right into our organization's idea of trying to get our scientific studies out to the general public and really get things organized to relate what we do in our studies to everybody who needs to know the information, understand what the forecasts actually mean and what to do.
The event takes place at the Science Spectrum off the South Loop Service Road just past Indiana. James Naismith tells us more on what to expect at the event.
Severe Weather Awareness Day is an annual event put on by the Science Spectrum, Texas Tech Atmospheric Sciences Department, the National Weather Service, and KCBD News Channel 11. And it's a public information day where all of those entities come together, as well as many other governmental agencies and nonprofit organizations, to teach the public about severe weather preparedness, but also about the science behind severe weather. On that day, there'll be numerous booths with information and literature, TV and media here that you can come and interact with and meet actual meteorologists that you might see on TV, like John Robinson and Carrie Allen and Steve Devine. But we also, Texas Tech Atmospheric Sciences, will have lots of hands-on interactive science stations where you can come do experiments. They also will be showing up with instrumentation and vehicles like radar trucks and weather chasing vehicles and some of their other instrumentation they use actually in the field to do the research with.
Severe Weather Awareness Day exhibits are free to the public, and all booths will be located outside the building or in the lobby. They will also show Tornado Alley at the Omni, although standard museum and Omni admissions do still apply. The weather out here in West Texas tends to have the reputation of being unpredictable. When should you be most prepared for severe weather?
Out here in West Texas and all the way across the South Plains, late springtime into early summer, from March all the way through April and into May, that's prime time here across West Texas. We get a lot of dry line events with dry air coming in from New Mexico, causes a lot of storms to fire along those things. So that's when we really need to watch out, but really should never let your guard down. You should always be prepared for any type of severe weather.
After talking to Timothy Cermak, a little severe weather might not always be a bad thing.
I'm a little conflicted because for my research I would love severe weather to happen so that I can get a thesis and I can graduate. But I also would prefer there is no severe weather because it's a threat to the public and to the safety and structures.
I'm Carly Smith reporting for MCTV.
Fortunately, we're not expecting any severe weather in the forecast.
Yeah, that's definitely good news. Let's take a look outside. By the way, this is our new view of Memorial Circle on the MCTV Live Tower Cam. It's sunny and about 50 today. We will dip into the 20s tonight, but then be back near the 70s tomorrow. The temperatures will continue to climb Friday with a high of 75.
But don't get too comfortable. Another cold front is heading our way and will drop temperatures down to the upper 40s on Saturday. That's all for this Wednesday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news, and we'll see you tomorrow.